Hey, this is Dave, and today we're going to be looking at the NewTek TC1. That is the new TriCaster from NewTek. It is dubbed as the planet's most complete multi-camera production system. So let's dive right in. We've got a TC1 here booted up. We've got a couple cameras in here. Let's just start with the interface. It should be familiar to you. It's the Advanced Edition interface. But I want to just first start with the inputs. So the inputs that you have available are anything local to you. It has 4 SDI inputs as well as 4 SDI outputs, which we'll get to later. And then you can bring in NDI sources as well. And now let me just break out to this all here. You can have up to, as you can see here, 16 inputs using the power of NDI. Okay, so with respect to our DDRs, just like any other TriCaster, we have DDR1 here. We have this London bus footage here, which is part of the default that is in comes with all the TriCasters. So there's your first DDR, and then on this side we have your DDR2. Nothing's changed there. Also, you have your graphics buses, Graphics 1 and Graphics 2, where you can drop things in. Right now, let's see. Let's take a look at Key 2. We have one of the presets from NewTek. All the standard stuff that you've come to expect from the TriCasters. The buffers are there. As you can see, I've got a couple of live things loaded in here, as well as this basketball looping buffer, animation buffer. Very, very useful so that you don't have to tie up your media players. You can send things to these animation buffers and then have them available in those locations and free. That definitely would free up your media players. So on your MEs, you have 4 MEs, and you also have previs. And previs is a very interesting situation because you can send things to any one of your MEs. So you can set something up in previs, copy it over, and then paste it over to another one of your MEs. So that's a really nice feature to have that. Just kind of like a 5th ME, but a place to kind of build stuff and then send it to the MEs if you're in the middle of production. So you also have, with the TC1, you have 2 extra downstream keys. So you have up to 4 that you can assign. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And you can see that right now we've got a buffer assigned to one of ours and a preset in the Key 2 at the moment. We're working with the smaller control surface right now. It has all of the essential functions that you would need, but the larger control surface would actually map almost every button from the interface of the TC1 down to the control surface if that's something that you prefer. So talking about the TC1, what's different? Well, it will go up to 4K 60. In this situation, we're in a standard 1080i60 project where we have 3 SDI cameras set up. Let's take a look at the streaming, because the streaming now has 2 different encoders. So you can actually, this is a big improvement. So let's say if I want to send something to Facebook Live at the same time I want to send it to my streaming platform, then I can do that, because now this natively has 2 encoders built right into it. On my recording, a huge improvement with the TC1 is the ISO recording. As we can see here, we have the option of recording all 4 mixes. Now as well, on the TC1, you have 4 outputs that are SDI as well as the NDI capability. Just like any other TriCaster, the TC1 is always outputting all of its sources and all of its mixes over NDI on your local network, and that's made available to any studio monitor computer or any other TriCaster that may be on your local network. Well, let's go to the audio mixer. So we have pretty much what you're used to, but one really cool thing that you have with the TC1 is that built-in Skype TX. So you got a mix minus right here, as you can see. This is the talkback for the Skype TX built right in to that audio mixer. So it's very, very, very handy feature to be able to have there. Let's go back up to the inputs as well. So something else in the inputs, you can go to your Skype TX Caller 1 and Skype TX Caller 2 as a local input. So this is native support for Skype TX. You don't have to have the talk show. So this is a huge improvement as well. NewTek dubs this one as the one we've been waiting for. I would agree. So something else that is pretty cool with the TC1 is you can enable support in the audio mixer for Dante. It would show up once you do that with a virtual sound card purchase. That will show up as a source so that you can have Dante channels coming in as well as Dante channels coming out. So that's a nice improvement. There's a lot of improved performance with the TC1. Things just move quickly. So we've got the ability to go 4K 60p with the switcher, which is huge. We got 2 encoders, which is also huge. More channels of keying. Up to 16 inputs if you leverage the power of NDI. The TC1 is really something you want to check out.